Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Hola, hola. Hi, everyone. Welcome to a new live stream. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Today, we are going to learn some vocabulary about the office, la oficina. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and also click on the bell icon so you can get notified every time I live stream. I want to give a big shout out to our Cafecito members, Christopher Michael, Lucas Schwatkowski, Raymond Sather, William Lopez, David Beaver, KS, Mr. and Han L. Thank you guys for the support. It's greatly appreciated. The coffee is delicioso. Muchas gracias. If you like what I do, even if you miss the live streams, but you like what I do and you want to support this channel, you can do that by getting a membership. Of course, it's up to you guys if you can, of course. But if you want to support by getting a membership, you can click on the join button down below, and there are different perks when getting this membership. It's less than $3, so essentially you're buying me a cup of coffee. Okay, thank you again, Cafecito members. Remember that we are live streaming, so you can use the live chat. The only thing that you need to do is to subscribe. You need to subscribe to this channel. If you want to use the live chat, only subscribers can use the live chat. Okay, let's get started. Spanish lesson. Vocabulary about la oficina. La oficina means the office. Okay, so probably you're working at home. Probably you're working at an office, but regardless if you have a home office or not, there are like different things, different words in Spanish that can help you to communicate and just describe your office. And in general, I think it's good to know these things if you want to know Spanish, of course, if you want to learn Spanish. Okay, la oficina, the office. If you have any questions, guys, please feel free to let me know. Just like we do and we have done before, we have the terms on the left, and then we will have some images on the right. And you can see right away some familiar faces. If you like The Office, well, you know these faces. You probably recognize these faces. I love The Office, one of the best TV shows, sitcoms in history. Hilarious. So we're gonna use them to learn some Spanish vocabulary. So I think that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Okay, we have 3 different sets of images and terms. This is number 1, the first one. And we're going to learn many words, many terms. So be prepared. The first term that we're going to learn is, oh, by the way, it's just basic vocabulary, nothing too complicated, just basic vocabulary. Okay, I see KS is in the house. KS, Sugar Astronaut, en la casa, muchos miembros. Yeah, that's good. Welcome, KS. Bienvenido. The first term is this one, el empleado. El empleado. Do you know what this means? Empleado, el empleado means employee. Okay? So, technically, all of these people are employees. Dwight, Pam, and I forget her name. What's her name? Angela, right? Yeah, I think it's Angela. Well, anyways, these three people are technically employees. So let's just put the term here, or rather here, because we have masculine and feminine. Employee, if you are talking about a male person, then you need to say el empleado. El empleado. Okay? If we're talking about a female person, then you need to say la empleada. El empleado, la empleada. And this means just employee, okay? Or the employee, technically. But remember that we have the definite articles here, el or la, because I want you to learn the grammatical gender. Is it feminine? Is it masculine? If I'm using el, obviously, that's masculine. If I'm using la, obviously, that's feminine. The noun is feminine. La empleada, el empleado. Así, I see Maria Grazia Boccolini. Hola, profesora desde Roma. Hola, María. Bienvenida. Bienvenida. Okay, so that we talked about employee, okay? Just the word employee. If we want to refer to the two employees, then regardless of female, masculine, you say los empleados. Los empleados. And that refers to employees, okay? El empleado, la empleada, los empleados. Perfect. Now we're going to talk about manager. And in Spanish and in English, the spelling is exactly the same. El manager. Manager. So you pretty much say it like you would say it in Spanish. El manager. Okay? Manager. So it's pretty much the same thing. I know that Michael had I think the term is district manager. But in general, if you want to refer to any manager, then you say el manager, okay? If that person is a male. If we're talking about a female manager, then you say la manager, okay? El manager, la manager. So it's very easy. That one is very easy. Okay, now I need a little bit of water. Just one sec. This is a big mug, huh? Okay. Kaya says, soy empleado de una empresa. Great example. Great example, Kayes. Now, el jefe. Michael was technically a boss as well. Okay? So this is a very common term. You probably know this one already. El jefe means the boss or boss. Okay? The boss. If that person is a female boss, then la jefa. El jefe, masculine. La jefa, feminine. Okay? That's very easy to remember. You only change one letter, technically. Jefe, jefa. And something really curious is that you can refer to your mom in Spanish and in Mexico as la jefa, mi jefa. and that means my mom. So you're technically calling your mom your boss. That is in Mexico. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know that. I think that's very interesting. SJ Photography. Hola, buenas noches. Buenas noches, SJ. Welcome. Excellent. Okay, now let's talk about a receptionist. The term is right here, and I believe Pam was a receptionist. And a very good one. Receptionist. La recepcionista. So this one is quite long. The term is quite long. La recepcionista. La recepcionista. Okay? So, yeah. That is if you are referring to a female receptionist. The masculine term is el recepcionista. So the noun stays the same. Recepcionista stays the same. You only need to change the definite article. Feminine, la. Masculine, el. Sorry. La recepcionista, el recepcionista. Okay? Receptionist. So it's very similar, the English and the Spanish term. The next one, guys, la secretaria. Secretary. So this is just, I don't know if it's the same term, receptionist, secretary. I don't think it's the same. But if you watch The Office, Pam was pretty much a secretary and a receptionist. So secretary in Spanish is la secretaria. Female, la secretaria. The masculine term, el secretario. Okay? La secretaria, el secretario. And that means secretary. I forget the intonation of that word. Secretary. There you go. I apologize. Okay, perfect. Now, let's talk about the computer or a computer. How do you say computer in Spanish? Because every office has one. Even if it's a home office, you will have a computer. There are two different ways to say computer in Spanish. The first one is la computadora. La computadora. La computadora. Okay? And that is used in Latin America. In Spain, they called computer el ordenador. El ordenador. La computadora, el ordenador. Computer. Okay? And that includes the whole computer. Okay? We're talking about tower, monitor, keyboard. Now, let's talk about just the monitor. The monitor in Spanish is el monitor. El monitor. Okay? So monitor. It's pretty much the same spelling. I believe that's the same spelling. So that's a very, very easy word to remember. The same exact spelling. I like it. Now, if you're talking about the keyboard in Spanish, or just keyboard in Spanish, is el teclado. Teclado, el teclado. El monitor, monitor. El teclado, keyboard. La computadora, computer. El ordenador, computer. Okay. Kaya says, mi jefe es estricto, pero agradable. Great example. Great example. Okay, now let's talk about oops. Let's talk about the chair, you know? You can call it computer chair or just chair. I just call it chair. La silla. La silla refers to any chair. It could be in your office or in your dining room, okay? So, la silla. If you want to say office chair, you can just add de la oficina. La silla de la oficina, so that's office chair, or la silla de oficina. Oops, de oficina. Okay, so that refers to any office chair, anywhere, in any office. But specifically, if you're talking about the office you are in, then you can say la silla de la oficina. Okay, so it belongs in the office, to that specific office. Excellent. And as I said before, you can just call it la silla. Okay, la silla, chair. Now, let's talk about the lamp. Some offices have lamps, and that in Spanish is la lámpara. La lámpara. Remember the accent mark on top of the letter A, the first A right here. And the pronunciation once again is la lámpara. La lámpara. Okay? So that is easy. That's easy to remember. It's pretty similar to the English word as well. Lamp, lámpara. Okay? So the first 4 letters are the same. You just need to add ara and the accent mark. El acento. Okay, and lastly, we have some coffee mug, but we're referring to coffee, okay? Coffee, el café. So this is something that, every office has. El café, coffee. If you want to say coffee mug, I believe we talked about this one already, previously. La taza de café. La taza de café. Coffee mug. El café, coffee. La taza de café, coffee mug. Excellent. So we learned quite a few terms already, but we have more. And before we continue, I want to quickly, guys, let you know about something cool. I don't know if you know about Photoshop or the Adobe Creative Cloud, but it's a great bundle of applications, just a bunch of applications, more than 20 applications that you can use to create different things. I'm using Photoshop for all of this, my lessons, and every lesson since I live stream. It's been a while. I think all my lessons are I use Photoshop for that, sorry. And really quickly, I just want to let you know that I am part of the Adobe affiliate program. So they let me know some cool stuff, and people can save more than 35% on the Creative Cloud, on the Adobe Creative Cloud. So if you're interested in getting this specific thing, if you're a creative person, or you just want to do cool stuff on your computer, you can read more about that, about the Creative Cloud. You only need to click on the affiliate link that I have in the video description down below. So yeah, check that out, guys. I love Adobe and all their products. So if you want, please check that out as well. Okay, now let's move on and let's talk about more terms. More terms, guys, more terms. Whoa, we have a bunch of things here. We have a copier, a briefcase, calculator, and more. So how do you say all of these things in Spanish? Well, we'll learn that right now. And the first thing that I like to talk about is this thing here, a copier. And this is quite big. They're quite big. Now, in Spanish, you say this like this, la copiadora. La copiadora. La copiadora, copier. So it's very, very easy to say, I think, copiadora. So that's an easy term that you can learn. There is a different way to say this, a longer way to say this. If you like a challenge, you can also call this la fotocopiadora. Okay? So if you want to say copier in Spanish, you can say it la copiadora, la fotocopiadora. Fotocopiadora. So that's a very long term. Now, let's talk about a binder. Binder. My arrows are terrible. Binder. A binder. How do you say binder in Spanish? La carpeta. La carpeta. It sounds like you're saying carpet, but you're saying binder. La carpeta. Okay, so that's quite easy. SJ Photography says, soy fotógrafa. Great, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you could use Photoshop, or you probably use Photoshop. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing, SJ. Necesito Photoshop para mis fotos. Well, feel free to click on the affiliate link down below, and you can get individual apps. You can get just Photoshop, or you can get like 3 different ones if you want. They have different like packages and stuff like that. So yeah, just check that out, SJ. The link is down below. I'm glad that that's gonna help you. That's awesome. Okay, now let's talk about email. That's something that people get every day. Emails. So I just put the logo there, but we're talking about el correo electrónico. El correo electrónico. Okay? So this is a very long term, but you can just say email in Spanish as well, and people will understand. So obviously we're referring to the email messages, the ones that you receive. So if you're referring to your email address, that's different. That's a longer term. And I'm going to let you know that one right now. You can also say email. Pásame tu email. Okay? And you're pretty much saying just tell me your email address. But if you want to say the term in Spanish, is la dirección de correo electrónico. La dirección de correo electrónico. Okay? So you're just saying email address right there. So it's a very, very long term, but it's commonly used in Spanish. You can also say email, just pásame tu email, or déjame leer mi email, okay? So you're referring to both things, el correo electrónico and la dirección de correo electrónico, email address. It's the same thing. It depends, obviously, the context matters, but now you know. If you want to say email, just the email message, el correo electrónico. If you want to say email address, la dirección de correo electrónico. Okay? Long terms. Now, let's talk about paper clips. So fun. Paper clips. Paper clips. In Spanish, you just say it, el clip. El clip. Clip. So it's pretty much the same term. In English, people say paper clip. In Spanish, you can just call it el clip. Necesito unos clips. That's the plural form. Los clips. Okay? And that's it. You don't have to say anything specific. You don't have to say el clip de papel. That doesn't make any sense. You can just call it el clip. El clip. And another term for this, okay, I'm just gonna remove this one here. You can call it, it's a longer term, but it's in Spanish, el sujeta papeles. So you're pretty much saying the paper holder, okay, or something that holds paper together. It's very funny, but yeah, it's interesting. El sujeta papeles or el clip. I like more el clip. I actually use that term more than el sujeta papeles. Okay? El sujeta papeles. Ooh, that's long. Okay, now you know two different terms for that. The next term that we're gonna learn is a term used for this specific thing. Briefcase. El maletín. El maletín. Okay? So that's how you say briefcase. Very easy. Very easy. It's not that difficult to say. El maletín. Maletín. Another way to say this one is el portafolio. El portafolio. Okay. El maletín, el portafolio. I use the term portafolio. Okay. Portafolio. Excellent. Any questions so far? No questions? Okay. The next thing, guys, is this one here. Ooh, paper. Paper, a piece of paper. La hoja de papel. Okay, hoja, la hoja de papel. And that means sheet of paper. Sheet of paper. So technically, yeah, and literally a sheet of paper. La hoja de papel. That reminds me of that famous Netflix TV show, La Casa de Papel. I think that was the term, or that's the title, sorry, or the name of the show. But if you're referring to just one sheet of paper, then you call it la hoja de papel. Okay? You can also have this plural, las hojas de papel. And that means just sheets of paper. Okay? That's necessary if you are in an office, if you're working at an office. Now, another thing that people use a lot is this one right here. Well, I don't know if they use it. I don't use it really, but some people do. A printer. Printer in Spanish is la impresora. La impresora. La impresora. Printer. So this one is very different from the English one. And, you know, like printer and la impresora, both terms are quite different. But technically, it's a literal translation. Because if you say, for example, imprimir, that's the verb, to print. Okay? So, la impresora, printer, imprimir, to print. Okay? So, that's something that we know now. Well, I knew it already, but now you know. Okay. This one right here, guys. Mail. Just tangible mail. We're not talking about emails. Because I don't know if I said mail here, but I was referring to emails. If I said mail, sorry, that means, I was trying to say emails or email, okay? Email address. Yeah, I don't know if I made a mistake there, but just let me know. Just let me know, guys. Now, mail, tangible mail. Mail, el correo. El correo. That means mail. Okay? El correo. El correo. Now, that's easy. Very easy. Let's talk about this one right here before I forget. Pencil. Okay, pencil. Pencil in Spanish is el lápiz. El lápiz. Lápiz. And if you want to say this like plural, well, you can't see it there. Man, I always, I don't have enough space. Los lápices. Los lápices. Okay, so that means pencils. Lápices. Los lápices. And yeah, that means pencils. Pencils. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about highlighter. Highlighter. Highlighter in Spanish is, we can see it right here. That is el marcador. El marcador. Highlighter. And if you need to highlight something, you can use the verb marcar. Okay? Marcar. So that's quite easy. Also another verb, really quickly, I'm just gonna let you know. Resaltar. But that's a different thing. I think that's, yeah, I mean, you can use either, but a more common verb is marcar. Marcar. There's like more terms for like if you want to underline something. Do you want to know that one? To underline in Spanish is, I'm just gonna let you know, subrayar. Subrayar. Subrayar means to underline, okay? Marcar is like you're just highlight something with your marker or highlighter. And if you want to underline something, subrayar. Subrayar. So, man. That's good to know. Now, let's talk about a pen or pen. Pen, la pluma. La pluma. Okay? La pluma. So, it's very, very funny. Well, not funny, but interesting. Pluma in Spanish also means feather. So maybe it comes from, before they used feathers and ink, to write things down. So maybe that just stayed, la pluma, pen. But remember, pluma also means feather. So that's quite interesting. That's quite interesting. Okay, now let's talk about the desk. Desk. Any desk is very important if you have an office. And desk in Spanish is el escritorio. El escritorio. Desk. I like more the English word here because desk is so short. It's easy. But in Spanish, desk is escritorio. El escritorio. Lastly, we have calculator. And I don't think people use this that much, but maybe some people do. I use my phone if I need a calculator. But la calculadora means calculator in Spanish. La calculadora. Calculator. Both terms, again, pretty similar. So that's good. That's good. I just want to, again, clarify that when I was talking about el correo electrónico, that means email. And la dirección de correo electrónico means email address. I think I said that. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. But anyways, let's talk about a few more terms, and the next group of terms is the last one. Okay? That's the last one. Okay. We have just a few words there and a few images as well. And I think these things are also important to learn. The terms, we need to learn those terms. But let's talk about internet. I know I was trying to find something to, to have instead of a modem to talk about internet or the internet. But I just found a modem. So anyways, el internet. You just have to pay attention to the pronunciation of that word. El internet. Internet. El internet. Okay? Sorry, I just had to sit better. Okay, el internet. Internet. The next one, guys, is this one right here. I love that picture. They're having a meeting. Do you know how to say meeting in Spanish? Meeting in Spanish is la junta. La junta. La junta. Meeting. Wow. So I like this one. It's quite short. La junta. Now, stapler and staple as well. Stapler is la engrapadora. La engrapadora. And staple is la grapa. Okay? La engrapadora, stapler. La grapa, staple. Lindsay Lau says la reunión. La reunión, that, yeah, it's a synonym of a meeting. La junta. La reunión can also refer to any meeting, even if it's not in an office. Okay? Junta is used more for, offices and what they do in an office, a meeting. Reunión can also be used for that, but reunión can also be used for other kinds of meetings. Like if you have, like something going on anywhere else, you can say la reunión. It can be with friends. It can be with, like anybody, pretty much. A group of people. La junta is more like, a meeting in an office. Excellent. Thank you, Lindsay. Now, the next one, guys, is this one here. I know that looks like files, but I want to say just work, anything that you have to work on. El trabajo. El trabajo. You can say, tengo mucho trabajo. I have a lot of work. Okay? Tengo mucho trabajo por hacer. I have a lot of work to do. El trabajo. That also means job. Okay? So, trabajo, el trabajo means job and work. Same thing. Obviously, it depends on the situation. The context matters. And if you want to know how to say folders in Spanish, because I know that you can see some folders there, you can call them el folder. That's pretty cool. El folder. Okay? And that means just folder. Just anything that has, folder. That means folder. And just the pronunciation changes a little bit. El folder. Folder. Okay? That's pretty interesting. They can also call it la carpeta, but as far as I know, la carpeta refers to binders or a binder, and a folder, el folder. That's how you say it, at least in Latin America. So, yeah. If you want to say documents, that's another good one. Or there's a singular form as well. El documento. El documento. And that's document, okay? And if you want to say documents, then let me see if I can just move this up here. Los documentos. Los documentos. Okay? El trabajo, job and work. El folder, folder. El documento, document. Los documentos, documents. Okay? So far, so good. Let's talk about a cell phone. A cell phone or cell phone in Spanish is el teléfono celular. el teléfono celular. So that's the common term, but you can also call it el celular. Okay, so you don't have to say teléfono. You can just call it el celular. Okay, or you can just say el teléfono celular, cell phone. Now, if we're talking about the cell phone number, that's a long term. El número. Oops, what's going on? El número. I just have to change my keyboard a little. Número de teléfono celular. Okay? El número de teléfono celular. That means cell phone number. So it's long. It's long. It's long. Okay. Now, next. This one here. Just a regular phone. Okay. So, el teléfono. El teléfono. So, pretty much the same thing as cell phone. The only difference is that we don't need celular. Okay? El teléfono. If you want to ask for the office number, then you can say, or you can refer to it as el número de teléfono. And you can even add de la oficina. So that's something long. El número de teléfono de la oficina. Okay, so that's the office number. You're saying office number right there. You can just call it el número de teléfono, the phone number. So that can be used anywhere. But yeah, so that's how you say those things. Now, let's talk about a planner. This little book right here, a planner. La agenda. La agenda. And that means just a planner. Okay, just a date book. Very easy. I don't have one, actually. I use my phone as well. I use like a calendar that I have. Google Calendar, something like that. So, and tasks, those apps are good. But yeah, technically, if you're referring to a planner, you can say la agenda. Okay? La agenda. If you're referring to a date, la fecha, date, you know, any date. For example, today is, or la fecha es 14 de junio del 2022. So that is the date, June 14th, 2022. Interesting, la fecha. Now, let's talk about... Oh, okay. Something that happens during a meeting. La presentación. La presentación. So that's a very common term. The presentation. So very easy. Pretty much the same in English and in Spanish. La presentación. The presentation. Almost the same. Different pronunciation, of course. The next term is this. How do you say this in Spanish? File cabinet in Spanish is el gabinete. El gabinete. Okay? El gabinete. File cabinet. Some people also call it archivero. Let me just put it right here. El archivero. That one sounds quite funny, but yeah. If you want to say is filing cabinet or file cabinet? Do you know, guys? File cabinet, el archivero, or el gabinete. Either one is the same thing. Lastly, guys, we have this thing here. I mean, that's everywhere. In every room, pretty much, you need this. In a washroom or bathroom, you need one in the kitchen, in an office, outside as well. El bote de basura. El bote de basura means just trash can. El bote de basura. Basura means trash or garbage. Bote, can. Okay. El bote de basura. Trash can. And that is it, guys. That is it. We learned quite a few terms. I will say, how many? I don't even know, but many, many terms. Do you have any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Remember, guys, once again, that we have a Spanish community on Discord, and that is, if you want to join that community, that's for free. You only need to click on the link that I have in the video description down below. And if you want to ask questions about Spanish, if you want to chat with other people in English and in Spanish, you can join that community. It's for free. I'm part of that community as well, so you can directly ask me whatever you need to know about Spanish. Obviously, please read the rules before joining that community, because that's very important. That's very, very important. But yeah, you can find that link in the video description down below. I don't see any questions, so I guess everything is clear. So I'm glad. Thank you again, KS, SJ Photography, Maria, and Lindsay for participating, for interacting with me. Thank you so much. Thank you. And that's it, guys. I hope these terms were useful. I think they're all useful. And if you have any questions, even after the live stream, just leave all of that in the video description, in the comment section down below. Any suggestions for future lessons, you can let me know as well. And you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. All the links are in the video description down below. I also have other YouTube channels, so if you want to follow me there, you can do that as well. All the links are in the video description down below. And I'm on Twitch as well, and I play video games, and I really like that. I enjoy doing that. Link in the video description. Okay, well, take care, guys. Thank you once again for stopping by and for watching this video. Cuídense, nos vemos a la próxima. Adiós. Bye bye.